Are you stuck in a victim story? And how do you shift it? Okay, we're going to talk about this. It was an interesting conversation I had with some friends today. Stick around for the end of the video because it's really going to shift you and give you perspective. Okay, welcome to Patty's World. Let's talk about the victim story. If you've ever approached life through this lens or this has ever happened to you, you're totally going to resonate with this. Okay, I'm Patty. I'm a transformational and manifestation coach, and I help you transform and to shift into the highest version of you so that you align with all the desires of your heart. So I got together with some friends today, and they're coaches as well. They don't necessarily do manifestation, but they do mindset and transformation as well, and really elevating, just stepping into the highest version of you, which is all self-concept. They're phenomenal coaches, have a lot of insight. And one of the things that we were all aligned in is that no matter what shows up in your life, it showed up for a reason, right? And so when you're stuck in a victim story, and I get it, it's easy to be in a victim story. How do you know you're in a victim story? Well, because whatever story you're telling, remember, you're the one that attaches meaning to things, you approach it from the state, the predominant state of victimhood. This is happening to me. People are doing this to me. This happened to me. This always happens to me. I always get this. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just a victim of my circumstances and I have no control over anything. Feel sorry for me. And here's another big indicator that they pointed out. It was a phenomenal conversation I had with them, is that someone really deep in their victim story is going to do the marketing campaign of victimhood. What does this mean? That they will go around to every person that they can telling their victim story because it works for them, because they're looking to get attention or sympathy or validation or being told they're right. Because as long as they're validated and told that they're right, they don't have to shift and they don't have to change and they don't have to look at their own behavior. How did they align with this? How did they cause this? How did they contribute to this? As long as we point the finger outward, we don't have to take any personal responsibility. We can stay very much anchored into our victim story and we don't have to shift and we don't have to change. They are on their marketing campaign. And the reason we started talking about this is that we're sharing a story, a circumstance that they do in their teachings and their seminars that they do. And they were talking about a case where they had a situation with a friend where that friendship ended. And that friend went around telling everybody else of what had happened, playing her victim story or playing that campaign, that marketing campaign of victimhood, instead of going to the source and having an adult discussion with them and saying, hey, I have this issue, this misunderstanding. Can we clear the air? Can we fix things? And so you have to look at the intention. Did this person really want to fix things? Or did they want to use this as a marketing campaign to get more sympathy and more attention and get people to feel sorry for them? So you have to understand that behavior is a language. And I got this from a therapist and another coach that's online. Behavior is a language. So people can say the pretty words, but whatever their behavior is showing, that they're telling you who they are. So if you've ever been in a victim story, and we're all guilty of it, something happens to us and it's really hard to take accountability. Well, it's not hard. We just tell ourselves it's hard, right? It is the challenge to take accountability and say, how did I align with this? What is the purpose of this showing up in my life? There is a reason. There's something about me that I have to shift and I have to change. What is the limiting belief attached to this circumstance? Those of us in conscious creation and manifestation understand that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So I know that whatever shows up in my life, I created, because I'm the creator of my reality. I'm the common denominator. Everyone is me pushed out. Everyone is you pushed out. So whatever story I'm telling myself in my mind about myself and my circumstances and the people around me, I am choosing. And it showed up because I have this limiting belief that I've anchored in, and it keeps showing up in different people in different circumstance, where the role I have given myself to play is that I'm a victim and people show up victimizing myself. I know, and it's difficult to say, well, you're blaming the victim. I am not. This is about shifting into empowerment. This is about shifting and telling yourself, myself, okay, how can I step into my power? And what is this showing me? That I should have set a boundary, that I overgave to my detriment, that I'm a people pleaser, that I was looking for a validation, that I was looking for approval. My instincts and my gut was telling me to set a boundary here, or to not do this, to not get involved, that this person wasn't right for me. There were all these red flags, but I didn't listen to my internal compass. And our intuition is so powerful, and it's there. It's the inner God within you. It's that inner God, that inner compass, it's source, because you're a spiritual being and you're connected to everything, and everything is energy, telling you, caution, beware, red lights, slow down, don't get involved with this person, don't get into this relationship, don't give away that money, or pull back from this friendship, whatever the circumstance. And when we look back at the situation, if we choose to look at it and say, okay, what can I learn from this? Instead of taking this as an opportunity, or taking this as something bad happened, because things aren't bad in and of themselves. We're the ones that attach the meaning, right? What is the lesson in this? What can I learn about myself? Even if the lesson is, and you hear Bashar say this, I never want to go through this again. How can I be better? How can I choose better? How can I put myself first so that I love myself, choose myself, do what's right for me? And instead of me looking for approval and validation and love in people and things outside of me. If I approach life through, I am safe, I am supported, this is working in my favor, I can flip this because circumstances don't matter, then I know that this is showing me a limiting belief about myself. So what is the belief I can flip? That I attract healthy people, I have healthy relationships, I put myself first, I have strong boundaries. Whatever the situation is that really hurt you, you can look at it and say, how can I believe different? How can I elevate? How can I elevate and anchor in a new self-concept where I do what is good for me, where I love myself and choose myself and validate myself. And I am not looking for anyone or anything outside of me to approve of me. And if you're ever in a situation where someone is on their marketing campaign playing the victim against you, here's what I know for sure, is that you anchor in the story of who you are. You're powerful, you're strong, you're honest, you're loving, you're supportive, you're genuine. Things always work out in your favor. You're a good person. No one in your reality can create chaos or drama or lies about you and get away with you, because you're divinely protected, you're divinely favored. And as that person, as that powerful being and stepping into your power, you can decide who you are, what you believe, flip the narrative, and also stand in the power of, I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to prove myself. I don't need to tell my side of the story, because everything is going to work out in my favor. And if we have the belief in the mantra that everything is always working out for me, everything always benefits me, and this is going to flip to benefit me and work out in my favor, then I don't have to worry, because this, even though I don't understand it and don't see the movement or see what's happening, this is all going to flip and align to benefit me, because everything always works out for me and is working out in my favor. Nothing to worry about. You attach a positive meaning to everything, no matter what shows up. You get to celebrate and say, this is a good thing. I'm elevating, I'm growing, I have a new awareness about me. I'm releasing this limiting belief. I'm celebrating it because this is working out in my favor, and this is going to flip to benefit me, because I know that everything always works out in my favor. And if that is true and I stand on that reality, this is going to benefit me. And it always does. It always does. You anchor in that belief. Don't argue for your worth or value. You don't prove your worth and value, and you don't have to tell your side of the story. Life will tell it for you, because everything always works out in your favor. You're divinely protected and you're divinely covered. You have angels working in your favor. So under those beliefs, those are things that I really anchored in. I used to worry a lot about, what are people saying? What are people thinking? I don't anymore. I accept what is, and I release, and I know that everything's working out in my favor, and everything is going to work out for good. The truth is going to be told. People don't get to come into my life and tell lies about me or lies about whatever's going on and get away with it. And that is a spiritual universal law, whether you believe in karma, whether you believe in the law of reciprocity, the law of cause and effect, the biblical principle of reaping and sowing. Everything that you put out comes back. You reap what you sow, more than you sow, even after you sow. Whatever you put out comes back. Life is a circle. So if you stand on that knowledge and that power, and if you're putting out a strong consciousness that reflects your good intentions, love, forgiveness, compassion, and you detach from what is, you know it's going to work out in your favor, and it's going to come full circle to benefit you, to support you, to elevate you, to work in your favor. And you stand on that power and that knowledge. Yes, that's how powerful you are. So once you understand and step into your power, there's no need to tell the victim story. There's no need to go around on any marketing campaign saying you're the victim. And now you know when you identify someone on that marketing campaign, when they go and tell this person, and they go tell this person and tell this person, what they're looking for, what they're anchoring in is that victim story and manipulation. So they get sympathy. So they get people feeling sorry for them, because that way they don't have to take accountability and they don't have to change who they are. The hard part is, the elevated part of us is when we look at ourselves and say, how can I be better? How can I choose better? How can I believe differently? That people support me, that people love me, that healthy, healed people show up and love me, that all my relationships are mutually supportive and mutually beneficial. And I don't ever have to worry, because life is always supporting me. And wherever I put my attention and my energy, that is what I'm going to grow and magnify. And in this case, my intention is that everything's coming around to benefit me and to serve me and to work in my favor. So when you see someone in the victim story, reframe that in your mind. Say, okay, this is showing me that this is not who I am. I'm in a better place. I have compassion for this person because they're not awakened. They're not awakened to their power. The victim story works because it worked for them, and they'll continue on that path until it doesn't anymore. But you in your power can say, I am the operant power. I'm stepping into my power. I'm taking myself to the end, to the wish fulfilled. If I could have exactly what I wanted, what would it be? Surrounded by people who love me, support me. I don't have to tell my story, because it'll be told for me, because everything works out in my favor and everything is aligning to benefit me. You're the operant power. You always are. And you attach a positive meaning and celebrate it. Celebrate it. Even when you don't want to, even when you don't have evidence. The shift always happens within. It's tricking your mind into believing in certainty and knowing that life is always supporting you, that God, source, the universe, is always working in your favor. And if you choose to look at it that way, that is what you will draw into your life. Law of increase. Wherever you place your energy and your attention, energy goes, right? Energy flows where our attention goes. So you place your attention into what you desire. You manifest what you are, not what you want. So get into the state of life is always supporting me and everything always works out in my favor, right? Those are core mantras. And no need to tell the victim story. You can shift out of it. Things that show up in your life are always there to support you, to grow you, to elevate you, to evolve you. Choose to look at everything and anything that shows up in your life as an opportunity to elevate and celebrate it. This is amazing. This is going to grow me. This is going to elevate me. I'm shifting into a higher version of me. If not, if you don't, you will get in a pattern of repeating the same old, same old. And I know plenty of people, they are in the pattern of victim, and they can get out of one relationship and get into another one. Different person, same relationship, because they're very much into their victim story. That's what they've anchored in. So they keep on attracting and aligning with the same circumstances until they realize that they're the common denominator. That's the big shift you have to make, is look at it as, how am I creating this and why did I align with this? Who am I being? Who am I being right now? Who am I being? Am I being the disempowered version of me, or am I being the version of me who's going to release this, who's healing this, who knows her power, and I'm standing in that? You always have the power. You always do. Okay, pay attention to the story you're telling. Okay, I hope this video helps you. I had a great lunch with my friends, and I love being surrounded by people, by builders, by people who are talking about ideas and growth and evolution and always improving themselves. And it's funny, when you start on this journey, you're going to see people fall out of your life and new people, more elevated people, come into your life, because law of resonance will align you with people at the core vibrational frequency that you are resonating at. Wherever your core energetic frequency is at, that is what you will align with. Everything is energy. Okay. So anyway, thank you for joining me on this video. I hope that helped you, and I will see you on the next one.